In today's video, we're going to go over all the different conditions that you could possibly encounter when you are out in the real world and recreate those conditions in your home environment to improve your walking confidence and not just hope and pray that when you get into a situation, you're going to be able to manage it, because that's really just not the way that our bodies work. It's best to practice things in a controlled environment where there's not a whole lot of unpredictability prior to going out into the real world where there's a ton of unpredictability and uncertainty. And if I had to guess, I think that most people think that they're going to just practice just walking in a straight line in their house and then just kind of hope and pray that when they get in these situations, they'll be able to manage it. Then things don't go as they had planned, and that's where the confidence really starts to suffer. So again, we're going to go over a variety of conditions of ways to recreate real-world situations in your home. And I think if you are someone that doesn't feel 100% confident in any situation when you're out in the community, that you should probably select one or two of the drills that we go through today and do them every single day. Now, as we go through the drills, I'll explain kind of why we need to work on these certain skills, gait skills, and then you can kind of pick and choose, well, what skills are going to be the most beneficial to you given what you do in any given day and where you go and errands and things like that. So, long story short, today's video is going to be a ton of different ways to walk in your environment. So enough of me talking, let's go ahead and dive into today's exercises. All right, so the first and the most important one is a lot of you walk with a very wide base of support, or if you have a balance challenge, the first kind of compensation that we do is to widen our base. So I think a good starting point for most of you that watch this channel is every day you should practice walking with your feet a little bit closer together. If you can put tape lines on the ground, a good distance would be to be able to walk within a 6-inch path. So if you have 12-inch tiles, that'll kind of give you a good gauge, or if you have 1-foot tiles, you should try occasionally to be able to walk in one set of tiles. So 6 inches forwards and backwards. All right, so that'd be the first one every day. If you are someone that you know you walk with a wider base, or you know you're going to be walking in stores and things like that where you might have to narrow your base to get around people or get through aisles. The next one is going to be what I call like slow march walking. This is really to kind of start preparing you for being able to step over an obstacle. So the goal for this one is just that you can lift your leg and you can hold it for 3 seconds would be a good goal on each leg. So again, I call this like a slow march. So 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3. So a slow march. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3. And I would do it backwards if you can. So getting that foot behind you is sometimes a little bit more challenging. But see if you can hold that foot up for a 3 count before you set it down. Hold it up for a 3 count, down. Hold it up for a 3 count, down. 3 count, down. 3 count, down. 3 count, down. All right, so the next most critical area is being able to walk with head movement. So first one we're going to do is side to side. So you're going to walk forward, right, left, and backwards, right, left, left, left. Now, if you still have that 6-inch like column on your floor, another good goal would be to try and stay within that 6-inch column as you're doing that head movement. And then we're going to switch it up and we're going to do head movement up and down. So up, down, and backwards, up, down, up, down, up, down. All right. So we're just going to kind of keep moving right along through this. The other thing that's really important is, can you change your walking speed? Also very important, someone gets in your way and you're walking fast, now you need to slow down, or vice versa, someone is coming into your path and you need to speed up to get out of their way. So we call this like changing gait speed. So you're just going to start walking at a normal speed, fast, slow. Can you change your walking speed? Okay. So again, you're just going to start, walk at a normal pace, fast, and then slow. All right. So changing gait speed, very, very, very important. All right. The other area that's important is, can you turn? So there are two types of turns that are good to practice. One is a pivot turn. That's a pretty valuable skill. And the other one's just a step turn. Also very valuable, changing directions. You don't think about it all the time, but we do it quite frequently. And that might be one area where you're losing your confidence when you're walking in public, is that you don't feel like you have the ability to do that. And so it kind of limits what you feel, the environments you feel comfortable in. So for this one, you're just going to practice pivot turn, backwards, pivot turn, forward. So you always pivot. So this gets confusing for people sometimes when I work with someone in person. You always pivot towards, when you're going backwards, you pivot towards the foot that you step. Okay? And when you go forward, same thing. Or you pivot away from the foot that you step. So backwards, the foot that steps, you pivot in that direction. Forward, you pivot away. So some people try and pivot the other way and their legs just don't seem to go that way. So we call these pivot turns. Okay, so you're just going to walk, pivot, backwards, pivot. Okay? And then the same thing with the other, like a step turn. So now you're just going to walk, turn, and stop. Okay, now this one's going to be really important for those of you where I call it like you're just really good at doing like a controlled fall, meaning that if you had to stop on a dime, you might not be able to. So some of you might not even realize that you do this. What I call like a controlled forward fall is that as long as you're in motion, you can stay in motion. But if you were to stop, then that's usually where you lose your balance. So this type of a step, turn, stop is really a good drill to practice at home. Turn and stop. Okay, so it's just a pivot, turn, stop. All right, so we are moving right along. The next one we're going to do is walking with your eyes closed. Now, it's not to say that anyone's really going to be walking around town with your eyes closed, but stuff happens. You get dust in your eye, or a hat falls over your head, or there are situations that you don't want to not be prepared for, because that just kind of in your subconscious will make you less confident. Let's say you're in a crowd or it's raining outside and you happen to have to close your eyes. Like all these thoughts, you just don't want them. You want to feel confident in any condition. So it is good to practice walking short distances with your eyes closed. So you're just going to walk forward, eyes closed. And if you can, try and walk backwards with your eyes closed. Now, my suggestion is to use a hallway. Shut all the doors in the hallway in your home so that you can't deviate too far from a straight path, and you have kind of walls to help kind of act as a safety net. So that would be my suggestion, or definitely do it with someone, because it is very easy to veer off path. So there's that one, eyes closed. And then the next one is carrying something in both hands. So definitely something that a lot of people don't practice very often. And then they get into a situation where their hands are occupied and it's just not a situation you want to be in, that you're not prepared for. So you want something big enough in your hands that you definitely couldn't kind of let go and reach for a wall, right? So part of it is What do you do if you lose your balance and you absolutely do not have your hands? So again, we're practicing this in a controlled environment in your home. So use your judgment as to what you can do and like how safe you are given your abilities. And then you're just going to walk carrying something that you couldn't easily let go of if you were to lose your balance, right? Something we don't think about, but there are situations where our hands get tangled up. And if we don't practice it, then we kind of know in our subconscious that there could be an area that we might lose our balance. And that again can decrease your confidence. Okay, so one more drill, carrying something in both hands that you can't easily let go of to regain your balance. All right, this next one's kind of what I call like a dual task activity. Simulates kind of carrying a cup or something with some liquid in it. You're just gonna try and balance the ball on the cone. You can use a cup. I don't recommend using water, especially if this is your first time carrying something and walking. But again, it is a valuable skill to learn. If you're someone that uses an assistive device, again, a lot of these are like meaning a walker or a cane. A lot of these probably aren't safe for you to do yet. However, I would say practicing carrying something and having the other hand on your assistive device is a valuable skill if you have use of both of your hands. Because I cannot tell you how much independence you lose when you have an assistive device and you can't carry a glass in one hand. So it is a common issue that comes up. We've with different patients, we've devised all kinds of things of ways to put trays on walkers and stuff like that, because you got to be able to get like food to your dining room table, things like that. So it is a valuable skill to practice, being able to use your assistive device in one hand if you have two hands, and be able to kind of carry something in the other hand, making sure you're not tripping over your walker, things like that. So just walking, trying to balance the ball on the cone. And I would practice this one forwards and backwards as well. All right, and then of course, I'm sure most of us know that we would like the ability to step over something, but it's just not something we really practice. And again, it's another one of those situations where I think subconsciously we just think, okay, we'll just kind of hope and pray that there's a ramp, or that if I get in that situation, I'll be able to step over an obstacle. But it is something that if you simulate it in your home and practice it, it just increases your confidence that you can manage any situation when you get out into the real world. So again, practicing stepping over an obstacle. Okay? So let me show that to you again. Now, one thing you want to pay attention to is you want it to be smooth. So you want to work on that. So a lot of times people will get right up to it. And this is okay in the early stages, but eventually you want to be able to just go right into the next step and not feel like you have to stop, get your balance, right? That's probably where you're going to start. But just because you can step over it doesn't necessarily mean you would be confident in the community yet. So keep working on it until it's something that you can just step over and keep walking. You don't feel like you need to adjust your steps or anything. You can just keep walking through it, okay? So again, you want to just be able to walk, step, walk, step. All right, now this one's not going to be for everyone, but if you're someone that you always feel like you're hunched over, and I've shown this in a lot of videos, I do recommend just practicing walking with your hands behind your back. Walk fast, walk slow, walk forwards, walk backwards. Your hands kind of behind your back really just kind of helps you to feel what it's like to kind of keep your bottom in and keep your chest up. So again, looks simple, but if you're someone that you're so used to having your hands in kind of like this high guard position, you might not realize that that it's challenging to walk with your hands behind your back. So again, hands behind the back, walk forwards and backwards, working on keeping that chest up. Again, this isn't for everyone. You know, there's probably, I would say, I would pick one or two from this entire video and just focus on those two drills and do them every single day. All right, now for this one, what we're doing is having a bar either behind your shoulders, or if you can't, you don't have the range in your arms, you can kind of hold, or in your shoulders, you can hold it in front of you. But this one with the weight just on one side is going to kind of try and pull your body in one direction. This is for those of you that are a little bit higher level, but it is a good way just to work on your posture and your overall stability in walking. So see, it's going to try and pull me offline, and I just kind of have to keep it level. And again, I would try this one forwards and backwards. Right? It's trying to pull me offline, and I'm just kind of bringing it back. And I would try and do this on both sides. So then switch it, and same thing, forward and backwards. All right, and then we're gonna end with one that's just a little bit crazy. We're gonna just hold a weight, and as you walk, you're just gonna pass it from arm to arm. Same thing going backwards, just pass it from arm to arm. Again, it kind of perturbs your center of gravity a little bit, really requires a lot of balance. Of course, this is for those of you that have use of both of your hands. But again, passing arm to arm. All right, and then that is it for this video. I hope you guys found this video helpful. It is going to be a review for some of you. I've done a ton of videos where I've probably incorporated 1 or 2 of these exercises in there. But just a refresher, again, I would pick 1 to 2 of the drills that we just went through and do them every single day. The consistency will not only build your confidence, but it will also make these walking patterns more automatic, to ensure that you don't have to think about these situations as much when you get into them in the real world. If you like this video and you want to see more videos like this and you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so that you'll get notified every time I upload new videos. If you want to get exercises throughout the week, you can head on over to Instagram, where I post 1 to 2 exercises every single week, not here on YouTube. If you wanted to go a little bit deeper, I think you should definitely join our Gold monthly membership program. With your membership, you'll get access to an exclusive vault of over 400 exercises that I use with my patients that I see in person. In that exercise vault, in that software system, you can search by body part, or you can search by movement problem to get to the exact exercises that will meet your needs and where you're at in your recovery. In addition to that, you will also get access to our Discord channel, where you can interact with other members and you can interact with me throughout the week, and access to our monthly lives, where you can submit questions in advance and I answer every single question that is submitted once a month. If you want to learn more about that membership program, visit rehab-hq.com, or the link for that is in the description below. I enjoyed spending time with you all today, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good day.